Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And we're going to be talking about specifically on the crime situation that is going on, and Brian Krasenstein on getting everything wrong because he's an actual buffoon. But it's no really surprise because the Democrats always have to do propaganda and lie because that's the only thing that they can possibly do in this situation. I'm going to be going over quite a few things here that you guys are going to be seeing, and it's not just what you guys think. It's a lot worse. Because we have this here that says DACA, recipients eligible to join Seattle Police as liberal policies blamed for dire staff shortage. Now, it goes on to say here that the Seattle Department is now welcoming illegal immigrants to join its depleted force as staff levels dip to lows not seen in 1957. It's rather ironic you got people here in this country illegally who are now going to potentially be enforcing the law. Seattle radio host Jason Rantz remarked at Fox and Friends Tuesday. The SPD announced last week they are accepting applications from deferred action for child arrivals recipients after state legislation allowing Dreamers to apply for civil service positions went into effect in Washington. The number of sworn officers in the SPD has plunged to 913 compared to over 1,400 in 2017. According to the department, additionally, there are currently only 424 patrol officers and 280 eligible for retirement. Rat said the police are in dire need of support due to the fallout from liberal policies. You had a movement that was out there calling cops murderers and racists, and unfortunately you had a city council at the time that embraced and amplified those messages. And so people started to leave in huge numbers, he said. Rance believes the staffing members are even worse than reported, saying he feels confident that the true number of deployable officers in the city is under 900. Rance added that while there is nothing inherently wrong with people who are brought to the U.S. as minors wanting to help their community, the problem lies with the Obama-era DACA policy being legally potentially unattainable as laws can change. Let's say there are some you're going to put them through the courses. You're going to put them through training only then to be told, okay, never mind, we have to rescind all of this because the DACA program has been deemed unconstitutional or the ATF has changed its policy, he said. The restriction on DCA recipients carrying firearms was disputed by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives during a similar law enforcement move by Los Angeles City authorities last year, with the U.S. Justice Department clarifying in a February letter that it is ATF's position that DCA recipients may also possess firearms and ammunition seized as evidence or for forfeiture if the possession is in connection with their official duties. Despite program recipients being authorized to work in the U.S., they have typically been unable to enter jobs in law enforcement with qualifications for Seattle's police force, previously noting that an applicant had to be a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. So, yeah, they're pretty much allowing illegal immigrants to become police officers. And I don't think we need to start talking about how that situation is here when you have this, where we have 5 cops that were criminals end up becoming police officers, and they end up beating a man to death. So I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't seem like a great idea. And not only that, we don't have any idea how what these people are, what they are like, how vicious and dangerous they are. This is going to be a repeat of that scene all over again. It really is, and it's just not going to get better. But now we have Brian Krasenstein here. This idiot of a fool that has to spout all this nonsense, all this BS, all this stupidity because he's just a propagandist. He's a liar, and that's what these guys do. Is all that they do is lie. He goes on to say, "I'm tired of false narratives being used to attack Biden. MAGA wants you to believe that crime is up under Democrats, but the only thing that's actually up is the crime that's being videotaped and posted online at an increased rate. Here are the facts. Biden has actually reversed Trump's crime wave under Biden. Murder is down 26.4%. Rape is down 25.7%. Robbery is down 17.8%. Property crime is down 15% year over year alone. Stop allowing social media clips to impact your perception of what's going on out there. Oh, and former president crime is up 100%. Yeah, let's just say current president crime is up 100% because that is really here. And I also put this down here as well. Stupidity at its finest. This is a list of all the stores businesses closed due to crime in CA. Not to mention the amount of crime not reported because Democrat policies refuse to put criminals in jail. And that's what I put here. I'm going to go into that. Now, see, the thing with Bryan Cranston here is that he doesn't go out and actually do research or try to do more critical thinking on what's going on, because there's a lot of reasons why crime might actually be down, even though it seems like it's been going up. So first off, let's go with this here. Is there a shoplifting crisis? What you need to know about retail crime. And this is from the Washington Post. So obviously, this cannot be any way towards the MAGA side, right? Or the Republican side, whatever you want to go towards. But it says, you may have noticed the laundry and cleaning aisles at your grocery store are nearly empty. Or maybe you've had to start presenting your receipt when exiting the market. Target, Walmart, and other large chains have cited multiple reasons for store closures, including rising crime and violence. Meanwhile, Home Depot, Lowe's, Dollar Tree, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Ulta have all raised concerns about disappearing inventory, known as shrink. In their last round of earnings calls, retailers routinely stock deodorant and name brand shampoo in plexiglass cages. And a recent report by National Retail Federation found that retail crime, violence, and theft continue to impact the retail industry at unprecedented levels. Yeah. And like you said, there's already a talk about organized crime going on in New York. So I don't know what he's talking about. This is from the New York Post, right? This is from 2023. It's only gotten worse since then. And we have this here from the Pew Research Center, right? It says what the data says about crime in the U.S. What the issue likely to come up in this year's presidential election. Here's what we know about crime in the United States based on the latest available data from federal government and other sources. How much crime is there in the U.S.? It's difficult to say for certain. The two primary sources of government crime statistics, the FBI and the BGS, paint an incomplete picture. The FBI publishes annual data on crimes that have been reported to law enforcement, but not crimes that haven't been reported. We're going to get to that, by the way. Historically, the FBI has also only published statistics about a handful of specific violent and property crimes, but not many other types of crimes, such as drug crime. And while the FBI's data is based on information from thousands of federal, state, county, city, and other police departments, not all law enforcement agencies participate every year. In 2022, the most recent full year with available statistics, the FBI received data from 83% of participating agencies. So yeah, so this is just pretty much going about what's going on here, like what people are experiencing. And again, guys, I'm gonna go over this. It says since 2021, concerns about crime have grown among both Republicans and Democrats. So it's just not Republicans saying this; it's the Democrat people, also people in the Florida cities. I know. I literally seen vandalism about literally 2 days ago, where a guy was smashing a window at a pizza place, because for whatever reason that it was closed or was down. He smashed the window. They replaced it, but he smashed a window. Now that's vandalism last time I checked, but I don't think that was actually reported. I seen him get in his black vehicle and run off or drive off. So I don't know about you, but to me that's crime. I also noticed by when I was here that my mom went into the drugstore. She ended up going. When she left, there was already a guy stealing this, and this was about a few months ago. And I don't actually go out that often. I usually work from home and stuff like that. So essentially, if I'm going out as least amount of that I am, and both of me and other people are seeing crime more consistently, I don't know about you, but that's insane. Back a few years ago, I didn't see this stuff. Now I am. And it's more consistent. It says Durham police due to get pay raises to address staffing shortages. So recruits who were making $43,000 per year will now receive a little more than $51,000. Officers who start at $47,000 per year will increase to $54,000. Cooper said the increased pay is just important for retention as recruitment, decreasing the strain and increasing the morale at the department. I think police need to be paid more in general. I think they're underpaid for the most part when it comes to tough stuff like this. But again, regardless whether the police are underpaid or not, it comes down to the reality of there is a staff shortage, and the police are not being respected. They're not being liked at all, and police don't want to go and participate in this because they're just not respected enough. Again, what about this, Brian Krassenstein? What about this? It says, woman choked and raped by ex-boyfriend after dispatcher informs her there are no cops to help. Informs her there are no cops to help, and instead tells her to ask attacker to leave. Now, I don't know about you, Krassenstein, but this doesn't sound like crime is going down. It seems like crime is more going up. Again, it doesn't seem like this is being reported. The cops would not help her, and the cops even said in certain areas there is no cops that are going to come out between a certain period of time. So it's defend yourself until 6 a.m. to what cops are actually in the office, because the Democratic policies. Your Democratic policies that you keep on going out and defending, by the way, is removing and defunding the police, which is allowing situations like this to happen. So I don't know about you, but that seems like to be a problem. And it says crime in cities rising. The urban violent crime spike is real. Crime trends in the U.S. cities year-end 2023 update. U.S. stats show violent crime dramatically falling. Why is there a rising clash with perception? According to ABC News, violent crime fell across in the U.S. in 2023. Why did it rise in Washington, D.C.? It's not just big cities. Rising crime is a problem everywhere. And now we're seeing this. Now, this is the one thing I wanted to go to you guys, right? Where I wanted to talk about this specifically. This is from the this is from the Firearm Industry Trade Association, and this is from August 10th, 2023. It says America has a crime reporting problem. It says tracking crime statistics, and more importantly, whether or not crime is rising or falling in the United States is getting harder to do. That's because nearly a third of America's cities are no longer reporting crime statistics to the FBI, and I wonder why that is. Perhaps because maybe they defunded the police. The police are not going to stop crime. If they are going to go get the crime and try to stop it, they're immediately released back out. So there's no reason for people to go and report the crime because, again, they're immediately let out within 24 hours to go commit the same crime over and over and over again. Like, I don't know about you, but that's just bloody insane here. That's insane. So there are a whole bunch of reasons why the crime might be lower. Maybe because people are just not reporting it. And that's part of the reason why crime is down. Because if you don't get any reports and the FBI is not getting any kind of reports of actual crime, of course the crime is going to be seeming going down than going up. Thanks to Democratic policies. And again, where I go to here, where it says, here's a list of all the stores that have closed across California due to crime between summer 2022 and spring 2024. It says, and I've reported on some of these, guys. I've already reported on some of these. 7-Eleven, in July 2022, the company advised several of its California locations in the Los Angeles area to change their operating hours to increase customer safety amidst a rash of crime. Whole Foods. In May 2023, the supermarket chain announced the closure of its flagship branch in downtown San Francisco, which had opened only 13 months before March in 2022. So this was like barely a year, guys, since this store was dropped, opened up, and it only took 13 months for it to close due to crime. What are we talking about here? Again, we have Nordstrom. In the same month, Nordstrom announced the closure of both its stores in downtown San Francisco, blaming the changing dynamics in the city market over the past few years. And Target, in September 2023, Target announced the closure of several of its stores in California, including in Oakland and San Francisco. So, announced closure of several stores in California. That's not counting Oakland and San Francisco, over concerns of a rise in retail theft. Again, that's a crime. Starbucks and Subway. In November 2023, 2 Starbucks stores and a Subway restaurant located in Hagenberger Road and 8th Avenue closed their doors due to break-ins targeting their customers. Denny's in January 2024. A Denny's, which had been on Hagenberger Road in Oakland for 54 years, closed after being hit by a series of crimes. A restaurant, guys. A restaurant is being closed due to crime. In-N-Out Burger. In the same month, In-N-Out Burger announced its only Oakland store was shutting its doors, citing threat to the safety of its employees and customers. I did a video about this. Macy's in February 2024. Macy's announced the closure of one of its most iconic locations, the store in the Union Square, San Francisco, due to rise in shoplifting. And then goes again, Taco Bell. In March 2024, the company announced it has suspended indoor dining in 4 of its restaurants in Oakland and limited it in a 5th store to customers making contactless payments. So, yes, crime is definitely indeed up. Brian Krasenstein, you absolute buffoon, you absolute fool. Because you can't say this is the fact when all these stores in California, just California is closing. By the way, all the stores in New York are closing, by the way. You can see even videos where people are probably, where stores are closed in California, where it's like a barren wasteland. Santa Monica with, I may believe, Decoy Voice showed where the crime was bad, and it was pretty much a barren wasteland as well, and people are complaining about crime and all this stuff. So I don't know about you guys, but it seems that crime is up. It's a huge problem. It's a complaint for the American people. And Brian Krasenstein over here is going to open his stupid mouth and say it's down, even though he hadn't done any amount of research and going to see what crime is up, why crime is down, the reason why, and with the reporting problem. And maybe we know why the reporting problem is the way it is, as I already explained. Maybe because people are just not reporting it because the cops don't do anything. So again, at the end of the day, these people lie, and that's all that they can do. Crime is up. Crime is a huge problem. I'm seeing crime in my own city, and this has been a problem for CA for a while now. All right, this is like not a surprise here. So again, we have an issue with what's going on in this city, in this state, and across the country. So yes, crime is up, Brian. You're just an idiot. You're a propagandist, and you like to spread lies because that's all you can do. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.